the blood will be on your hands, the fallout of all your good intentions.
I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
And yes, we will. Today, Ben and I are going to discuss Mission Impossible 7 Fallout.
Six Fallout.
Six
Fallout.
Oh, 6 Fallout.
7's Dead Reckoning.
Dead Reckoning. Okay, we'll get to that too. All right, so Mission Impossible 6 Fallout. Ben has indicated to me this is one of his favorites of the Mission Impossible.
In my own opinion, yeah.
In the series. To me, except for one or two twists, it was pretty predictable.
Right. Before we get to the predictability about it, go over the two different twists.
Okay, so the one twist that I don't know where it came from, which is why it's a twist, I guess, is when what's her name, Angela Bassett, the CIA director, sort of kiboshes the entire mission about, what are we saying, that's about an hour and a half into the movie?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
So that I really didn't expect. And
when you said you didn't expect it, it was like an interesting twist to you?
It needed to, something needed to be there to set up Alec Baldwin's death.
Got it, right.
So something needed to be there to set that up. And the other thing is, you're looking at, for me, I was looking at the timing and thinking, okay, we're going to end the movie, and I'm looking, there's about an hour left of the movie at that point.
Well, as far as setting up the death between those two characters, I find it similar to Skyfall, where in the beginning of Skyfall, you see both Judi Dench's and Ralph Fiennes, so that kind of gave a hint as part of it. And then this, when you see both of them together talking in the beginning before the plane scene, also, it's kind of, okay.
Yeah, it gives you the sense that that is going to happen,
Right. And what was the second twist you had in mind?
Wait a second, it's coming to me. I had it in my head and then
it'll come back to you.
Yeah. Let's go on. Let's go on because those who are familiar with Mission Impossible and the way things, the twists and turns, and if you did not realize that August was Lark.
Right. We're talking about the Superman guy.
Henry
Cavill.
Yeah.
If you didn't know that he was Lark.
If you didn't know that he was Lark, then you're missing something to me. That was not a surprise at all.
Right, exactly. Now, would you say this was on par with Rogue Nation or a little bit less in quality?
As I told you, Rogue Nation was one of my
Your favorite so far.
Yeah, because of the, it was really more true to the Mission Impossible series.
Right, to the series itself. What would you say this one, the feeling of this one is about?
There's some of that. It was so focused on the action to me, which, for many people, I think, they like the action. They think the action should be paramount in these movies. To me, the action should be there only to serve the, serve the plot. So to me, again, the motorcycle chase, as soon as you see the motorcycle, you have to know that's Ilsa. I mean, like, to me, that's Ilsa because we saw that in Rogue Nation that she knew how to ride a bike. I mean, she was very well trained.
Right, now we're going to go over her and a few other characters in a moment, but first I want to explain to you and the audience how I think this sixth movie is like a culmination of every movie that came before that.
Okay.
Real quick examples. Fallout is a direct sequel to Rogue Nation.
Right.
It's similar to Ghost Protocol in that both Ghost Protocol and Fallout have these nuclear type themes.
Right.
One, how connects to one, which we'll get to more with characters we talk about in a bit, is, did you know that the White Widow is the daughter of Max from the first movie?
Right.
The second movie, it even kind of connects to the second movie after this movie the first mentioned, because at the end of this movie, in the third act, in the climax, he's climbing up and down on a rock.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, even though most of us don't like Mission Impossible 2, it made Mission Impossible 2 better by having better rock climbing stuff here at the end of Fallout. Here at the Fallout.
Again, focus on the action.
Right, with the action. But better rock-wise than 2, by bringing rock stuff back in.
Right.
And then lastly, connect to the third by having a more of a resolution between his wife from the third movie.
Right.
But
and that's the other thing, the Michelle Monaghan.
Yeah, let's talk about her for a second.
I thought it's interesting that she plays a doctor in 2 movies.
Right. Oh, what was the other movie?
The other was the John Clancy. With Ben Affleck. She plays Ben Affleck.
Oh, that's fine. Oh, one of those. I think I know.
Yeah, right. I can't remember which one it was, but but she plays a doctor.
Right. So I thought it was a great idea for both the director and Tom to bring her back into this movie, mostly the third act in Fallout, to resolve any issues people may have had with her in the third movie.
Right.
Right, yeah.
So, and it really does. It ties up the loose ends. She gets remarried. She still believes in Ethan.
She still believes in Ethan.
And knowing that, I love her line at the end, knowing you're out there makes me feel safe.
Right.
Right.
I just want to connect, since you were talking about Ilsa Faust earlier a moment ago.
Right.
Towards the end, in the third act, there's actually a one moment where stuff is going on, and Ilsa Faust's character says about his ex-wife, I like her.
Yeah. It's like, and so they're very similar, I think. And Luther, sort of explaining to Ilsa his relationship, and he, that insight that we all see, but Luther sort of says he sort of speaks the part of the audience in the movie. I thought, which I thought, sort of reveals how much he cares for. Julia, and then Ilsa.
Right. Now, since like you said, this one has a lot of action to it. As far as the action is concerned, towards the end of the bathroom fight, were you like not? Were you like in the predictability part? Were you not surprised it's her that made it into the bathroom? Like you said, a lot of this movie is predictable. You said,
It was. So again, so much of the movie to me was predictable, and now I've often shared with Ben privately that one of the things that I like to do is figure out the plot line, the possible plot twists, and how the movie's going to resolve when we're still in the first act.
Right.
That's a game for me, and again, other than a couple of these little plot twist.
Do you remember what the second twist was?
It'll come to me.
So which version of Solomon Lane do you prefer? How he's introduced in Rogue Nation, all of Rogue Nation, or how he's slightly different in this one? What do you make of Solomon Lane?
Well, in this one, he's seeking revenge.
Right.
So, yeah, he says, you should have killed me.
You should have killed me, yeah. I actually prefer his performance in this one. I think this one, he's more like, way more, like, even crazier than he was in the previous one.
Well, sure, because, again, revenge twists people.
Right.
Twists people's mind.
Right.
Because what happens then, you're not focusing on the real prize. You're focusing on the revenge against this person. I love the line in Princess Bride where at the very end, Inigo Montoya says, I've been in the revenge business so long, I don't know what to do. And then Wesley says, why don't you become a Dread Pirate Roberts? It's like people who are so focused on revenge, then what else is there in their life? What other purpose if that is taken away?
Good point how you explain the revenge right there. And just to connect all these movies together, since you just mentioned The Princess Bride, in Seven Dead Reckoning, there's a few scenes of Carrie Ellis being part of Seven.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay. Actually, yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Just to let you know, get a heads up. Another thing I want to say real quick before we move to other characters and story elements, the thing I want to say real quick about Solomon Lane is, you saw he survives. He gets captured again.
Right.
He survives and gets captured. He definitely didn't want to come back for a third time. He didn't even want to come back the second time. So he survives, gets captured, but he doesn't come back physically in either 7 or 8. His voice is just heard very briefly in the beginning of 8. So to me, who wanted to see him come back a third time, I was very disappointed that after he's captured and survives and lives at the end of 6 Fallout, he physically never comes back in the rest.
Well, if again, remembering the plot here, Ilsa's responsibility is to take him in. Right? So that's her goal. So she takes him back into MI6 and to British Secret Service. And so he's dealt with there. He's probably in that ultra security prison that they that
right.
that
That's
British,
so right.
you
She wanted to get him for those reasons. There.
Right, and that frees her. So
right.
now she's no longer obligated
right.
to MI6. She may still be an agent.
Right, maybe. Yeah.
But she's not under that same obligation. And so if we can go into that a little bit now, you see each of the characters are really true to their characters.
Oh, in this one for sure, definitely, yeah.
So you know at the beginning, Ethan would never let Luther die. That's just not going to happen. So I think he's true to his character there. Lark, true to his character, underhanded, really sadistic, looking to put everybody's eye out, so to speak, and inflict the most damage that he can, not just in terms of the world, in terms of his goals, but also in terms of the personal vendetta he has against, IMF, against Ethan. And you see that in the way he speaks with Solomon Lane toward the end of the movie, right? When they're really setting the final
third act up, yeah.
Yeah. So
I wanted to. I know we both like Benji, Simon Pegg. I just want to mention something very specific about this in this movie. Ready?
Right.
So a few movies ago, a few Mission Impossible movies ago, he always wanted to have a sequence, have a thing part of their mission to want to have a mask on.
Right.
And a few like four, like whatever, a few 3, 4 somewhere a few movies ago, he always wanted to have a mask on. In this movie.
He does
not just once, but twice. So let's go over that real quick. In the first 15 minutes, with the guy they're trying to get and the thing and the bed.
Right. So he says, no, I don't want the. So that's sort of a funny bit, introducing some humor. And Simon Pegg is so great with that. He's able, in almost any role that I've seen him in, the zombie movies, the Star Trek, the reboot of Star Trek when he plays Scotty. He's the humor.
Yes.
Even in Star Wars, one
of the Star Wars,
not the Rise, the first of the last three. Oh my gosh!
The first one came out in 2009.
Yeah, whatever that one was. He plays the alien on the opening scene, one of the opening scenes where he's the.
So were you predictable to know that when he took the mask off, it was him?
Oh, before the scene, I actually said to Benny, it's my dog. I said, "That's Simon Pegg there. That's not really Solomon Lane."
Right.
So it's like again,
and it's like
to me, again, it was fun to watch. Don't get me wrong, it was fun to watch, but sort of predictable.
Right, you kind of predict them that way.
Yeah.
So it's satisfaction in that a few movies ago he didn't get to do that, but in this movie he did it 2 separate times.
Right.
And it's Wolf Blitzer.
Right.
And which connects again to Skyfall. I just want to let everybody know why I'm wearing this.
Oh.
I told you this is one of my more favorite of the movies.
Right.
And so I thought that it should have been, like, to me, in my opinion, like Skyfall / No Time to Die. This Mission Impossible movie should have been the last, in my opinion. I really don't care so much for 7 and 8, which we'll get to eventually. I like this one. This is where I thought this is where it should have ended.
Right.
And by that I want to talk about the last scene for a sec. When they're all when Ethan's laying down and he's with his other 3 main characters, Elsa, Luther, and Benji, and they're all together there. In the last few seconds of the scene, they're all laughing about something. They're laughing and happy together, which is not the tone of 7 and 8. So I thought with them all, the 4 of them laughing together like that, and then that would have been it, and that's it. No more mission after that.
Well, but you have to see there were 2 setups. As I mentioned before, when Julia says, "I feel safe knowing you're out there."
That's true.
So okay, well, there's going to be another one, okay? And the other one is when Angela Bassett's character, I can't remember the name of her, but the CIA director, she says that
Erica Sloan.
Erica Sloan. Okay, so she says, and I can't remember the exact dialogue, something to the effect that we need people who not only care about the individual and care about the whole, right? The millions or the one.
I like that line. I do like that line.
Yeah, and the fact that she characterizes Ethan as that really indicates that he's coming back for something.
Right.
At least that's what it sort of meant to me.
Right.
Yeah. So again, overall, this is it's a great movie.
So what did you make real quick of the White Widow, who's the daughter of Max?
Well, I just think that we see at the end who she really is.
Well, who is she at the really end? I mean, I watched it. Explain to me so I can understand. Who is she gonna really
She's
end?
A broker, and it doesn't matter who for.
Oh, and for no matter who for, right?
Yeah, she has. In other words, somewhat like Max, there's no morality.
Right.
It's just like whoever's the highest bidder, that's who I'm going to work with.
Like mother, like daughter.
Yeah, like father, like mother.
Well,
like daughter.
She's playing my father. Yeah. Right. So So are there any? You said it was really predictable and lots of action, but does that disappoint you? Would this go a little bit lower than how like Rogue Nation was to you? So like main likes and dislikes, or mid things about Fallout?
Well, okay. So again, for me, and maybe it was just because I was paying attention more to this one than when I saw Rogue Nation initially.
Right.
And just there were some things that. So as I said, Rogue Nation to me.
Felt more like the original,
more like the series,
original TV show.
Right. The deception. The action wasn't the focal point of Rogue Nation. Right. Yes, there were a couple good action sequences, as I mentioned in our last talk.
Right.
I felt that the action in this movie sort of, it was overplayed.
Okay.
It didn't always serve the plot.
Didn't always, right. As far as the actions are concerned,
there was one other thing.
Sure.
So, when they are plotting with Ethan to capture Solomon Lane, and you see him go through their scenario, and it's played out, and I turned to the dog and I said, this is not going to happen this way.
And which way were they trying to do it in that scene?
Okay, if you remember, they wanted to kill everybody, kill all the police, right?
The killing police thing.
Right,
that's not gonna.
And I said, Ethan's not going to do this. There's going to be an alternate plan, and he's going to set up Luther and Benji to be there.
You're right. You were right about that part.
And so as soon as you see him jump into that fountain or whatever it was.
Exactly. That's the way they really wanted to do it.
You know you're going to see something.
Right.
And there was.
You were right. Now, one more quick thing about the action about this. At the end, as far how I consider Solomon Lane different how he was portrayed in the previous movie, is that when he's fighting Benji and Ilsa, he's really he uses a gun in the beginning of the first one and does whatever, but at this one, you could actually see his combat where he's more, like you said, revenge. The combat he does against Ilsa and Benji in that whole inside thing there is he's kind of different and upgraded from how he was.
Well, you have to remember, he was a MI6 agent.
Oh, that's right, MI6 agent.
And so he's trained, and that was sort of the whole focus of Rogue Nation, where he knew what they were going to do before they were going to do it. That was the whole idea there. And sort of the same thing with John Lark. Mm-hmm. John Lark, and he was he was there watching everything. He said, as a matter of fact, one of the things he says at the beginning, you and your masks, and he's just making fun of them, right? Knowing that.
Oh, the masked part, absolutely. Yeah, one more thing I want to say about the action for the third act, when they're in that place where his wife is and all. As far as stunt and action-wise, I was really impressed by is when he has to get up in the air, right? So he jumps onto a rope, a really hard rope, and is able, like in gym class, on a rope to freaking somehow get his fingers and hands all the way up the rope to get to the top of those things. I thought that was really neat.
You're talking about the helicopter.
To get from the rope, to get onto a rope and then rope to the helicopter.
Right. So it's never really revealed to us what's in that, whatever they were carrying.
Right.
And so I was hoping that might be something, like the third bomb or something like that. But they only had made 2, but wasn't there 3 balls of plutonium? Mm-hmm. All right? Right. That was something that left me wondering what that might be, and that might show up in the next movie. I don't know.
It doesn't. But.
It doesn't. Okay. So that's, but in terms of how John Lark dies, I thought that was really cool. Just that whole sequence.
Right.
Sort of predictable. Sort of, it's going to be 2 to 1 second before, and of course they're going to snip the wires, and of course Ethan's going to have the key out of the detonator. That. So, to me, the most exciting part was just what you mentioned, the Solomon Lane fight. With Ilsa and Benji. and it was just, that was a really good fight sequence, I have to admit.
I really thought that really was a good fight sequence.
Yeah, it was just...
considering the action of it all.
Right,
yeah.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, because you said the reason that makes sense to you is because he used to be an agent of some kind.
An MI6 agent.
MI6 agent, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Anyway, so I enjoyed the
yeah.
movie. Honestly, there was one point, I'm trying to remember, it was after the... excuse me, it was around the 30-minute mark, or I started to lose... You know, it just it got really slow.
Okay, after about 30 minutes in is when the whole bathroom stuff happens.
It's after that.
Oh, after
the bathroom stuff.
So is it when talking with Widow, somewhere around talking with Widow then? The White Widow?
I'm not sure. It was
but somewhere around there.
I started to. It got kind of slow for me.
Slow somewhere, yeah.
So, but other than that, again, exciting movie. It was fun to watch. Other than that one little section, and then. Again, but for me, a little predictable.
So, a little predictable. So you would say so far, number one is the 1996 original, and number two is Rogue Nation.
Yeah.
And then
this would be three. This would be three.
Would this actually be three?
A strong three.
A strong three?
If I say Rogue Nation is 2A, and this one's 2B.
Gotcha.
I mean, they're really close.
Nice.
I enjoyed both of them. I thought in terms of, for me, again, being an old fart, it's closer to the original series. These two are closer to the original
Now, real quick,
series.
since I know you're a musician,
yeah.
What did you make of the music aspect of this movie?
This one, the music was terrific. Thank you for asking. They really took the original theme, and it's funny, you don't hear that, please pardon my singing, everyone, da 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 da. You don't really hear that in the other movies. This one, it was prominent, and I really love that part of the television theme, the original theme. It was really terrific. That little musical sequence, and you hear that a couple of times in this movie.
That's really cool.
Which was really, it's reminiscent again of the original series, and to me. Mission Impossible, I've said it several times already throughout each of our interviews here. Mission Impossible is not supposed to be James Bond.
It's not.
And
it's not.
Yeah, and so these two, 1, 5, and 6, are really closer to the original idea of Mission Impossible, and as opposed to 2, 3, and 4, which were closer to James Bond to me.
Now, before we close and wrap this up, I want to let you know about one of the characters and who reappears.
Okay, go ahead.
You said you liked Angela Bassett. Bassett, right?
Angela Bassett, yeah.
She does return in the 8th and supposedly last movie.
Oh, wow.
And can you guess what character she plays?
She plays the secretary.
Actually, she gets promoted.
Oh.
She plays the United States President.
Oh, really? Okay. That's a nice surprise.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm looking forward to that then.
Yeah.
All right.
And you're also looking forward to Carl, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but the Princess Bride guy's in 7.
Oh, Carrie Ellis.
Yes.
Not
so that's to look forward to.
Ellis. Yeah.
Now next week we won't be discussing the next one. We'll get to 7, Dead Reckoning at some point
Thanksgiving.
After Thanksgiving, sometime after Thanksgiving for the next one. After Thanksgiving. But with all that said, we'll see you at the movies. Everybody dance and have a good time. This is friend and co-host Rabbi and Millennial Man Motions Entertainment, LLC, signing out till after Thanksgiving.